Rockstar crafts some incredible game worlds, but they're even more complex than many people realize. Name's Dave with WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 greatest Grand Theft Auto secrets.
This is the place right here. Let's get off the street and find a change of clothes.
For this list, we're looking at some of the strangest, most peculiar, and hardest to find secrets in the Grand Theft Auto franchise, some of which the players were never supposed to find, like this first entry. Here we go.
Luigi said to give you this, so here, take it.
Number 10, The Secret Sign, Grand Theft Auto 3. Our first entry is a GTA 3 classic. One of Liberty City's level designers at Rockstar clearly knew that players would find a way to access this normally inaccessible spot and left a sassy little note behind. The sign reads, "You weren't supposed to be able to get here, you know." Most of the time when accessing a closed-off area or finding a cool Easter egg, players feel success or wonder. But this sign feels almost eerie, as if you're either being watched or pulled along by fate. There are a lot more strange things in GTA 3, but this one is definitely the biggest mind-bender. Number 9, Ghost Town, Grand Theft Auto 3. For all that can be explored and messed with in the game world of Grand Theft Auto 3, there's one locale that remains somewhat enigmatic, the site of the game's opening moments. Constructed specifically for the bank robbing sequence that sets in motion the game's events, this small portion of Liberty City was hidden away in a lonely corner of the game's map. Eventually being discovered by dedicated players, this stretch of street was mostly found incorporeal, lacking any solid objects. Only with the use of game modifications is this so-called ghost town able to be explored in full, and even then, it's a bizarre spectacle. Number 8, Alien Beneath the Ice, Grand Theft Auto 5. Given the hectic nature of how the game starts, it's not surprising that folks miss some throwaway details until after the fact. The prologue of Grand Theft Auto 5 expects the player to keep Michael Townley and company moving towards their escape.
We move quick, we can beat the train!
However, those opting to diverge from the mission path and instead dive onto the frozen river found the most unusual sight waiting for them. What lies beneath the icy surface is an extraterrestrial corpse, looking like a blend of a stereotypical grey alien and a xenomorph from the Aliens franchise. Why is this here? And what this says about the world of Grand Theft Auto remains a mystery. Number 7, Hidden Test Maps, Grand Theft Auto 4. During the development of a video game, areas and assets are created to provide the team with a space in which to experiment and tinker. Such game areas are never intended for players to be able to access. But sure enough, players found a way into a pair of test maps, not accessible under normal circumstances. Titled CJ_Test and Ammon Viewer, respectively, these maps are littered with a wide assortment of objects. Number 6, The UFOs, Grand Theft Auto 5. Rockstar sure does love to tease alien conspiracies, huh? Players committed to the tasks of completing Grand Theft Auto 5 in its entirety may be surprised to learn that one of the rewards for this accomplishment pertains to the appearance of UFOs. Specifically, several UFOs begin to crop up across the state of San Andreas. Above Mount Chiliad, out in the desert, even high above the military base. Of course, anyone who'd ventured under the water near North Point would have been tipped off in advance, for there lies a crashed ship of similar design. Number 5, Ghost of Mount Gordo, Grand Theft Auto 5. The dead most definitely aren't at peace in Los Santos, be it in single player or online play. Climbing to the peak of Mount Gordo is quite the impressive endeavor. What makes it especially satisfying, if also unsettling, is reaching the peak between 11 PM and midnight. Do this and you'll be greeted with the ethereal vision of a woman in white, her eyes and face bleeding. This woman was Jolene Carnley Evans, a character with her own in-universe backstory and tragic demise. For fans of supernatural phenomena and unsolved true crime tales, this is one for the books. Number 4. Be the Bigfoot, Grand Theft Auto 5. Introduced as part of the enhanced version of Grand Theft Auto 5, peyote plants serves as an unexpected injection of supernatural fantasy into an otherwise quasi-realistic setting. These plants cause the player's character to transform, or perhaps hallucinate themselves transforming, into a wide array of animals. However, the most unique shape change is saved for the special golden peyote plants, found only after 100% completion and under certain weather conditions. Consuming these puts the players in the infamous furry feet of Bigfoot, complete with a whole separate set of encounters, a reference to Grand Theft Auto San Andreas' infamous myth. Number 3. The world's most literal Easter egg, Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Even for this particular series, this feels rather on the nose. Venturing out into the downtown portion of Vice City, a determined player can eventually find their way onto a helipad atop the Vice City News building. Nothing seems immediately out of the ordinary above the adjacent building, unless you choose to take a leap of faith through the hollow wall. Behind this facade rests a most peculiar sight, a large chocolate Easter egg on a white pedestal. Apart from being a quaint curiosity, there's little about this room that clarifies the motive behind this secret's inclusion in the game. But hey, sometimes an Easter egg is just that, an Easter egg. Number 2, Changing the Moon, Grand Theft Auto 3 and Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Whoever said randomly firing a sniper rifle at the sky didn't have its merits. But in this very unique and somewhat very unrealistic case, it's actually somewhat justified. Over the course of your time in Grand Theft Auto 3 and Vice City, a player can obtain sniper rifles as part of their larger inventory of deadly firearms. While certainly useful in the conventional sense, it's possible to get wilder with how one utilizes this rifle's precision and ability to shoot over long distances. Like, I don't know, taking pot shots at the moon. Shooting it will cause the moon to shrink and grow in size depending on how many shots have been fired at it. So, don't try this in real life, folks. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. The Statue of Happiness, Grand Theft Auto 4. Obscure lore can't begin to account for this heap of weirdness. In one's gallivanting across Liberty City as downrun ex-soldier Nico Bellic, a curious player might find their attention drawn to the game's version of the real-world Statue of Liberty. Here, referred to as the Statue of Happiness, the grand structure depicts a figure that looks awfully familiar to Secretary of State turned presidential candidate Hillary Clinton. Fascinating enough as a nod to the real-world political figure, the statue offers more ways of intrigue should one manage to reach the ladder leading to the structure itself. Within the statue beats a massive heart, resistant to damage and chained in place for, okay, what is this? Who thought this up? I'm gonna go now. I'm kinda scared. In the mood for more awesome gaming content? Be sure to check out this video here on Mojo Plays. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.